Hi beautiful people, welcome to my channel. I felt very inclined to pull a love reading for the collective, and it feels quite specific, this reading, so please take what resonates, leave the rest behind. I pulled these three cards. The Tower, Seven of Cups and Seven of Pentacles all came out in reverse, and then a very welcomed Three of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So this feels to me like someone has been trying to hold a situation together long after they knew like something wasn't fully aligned. And it feels like this reading is for people who have been sitting in an emotional uncertain situation, so maybe even like a situationship. Like for a while now, maybe waiting, maybe hoping, trying to read the signs, making excuses as to why things aren't happening or feeling in flow, trying to understand what this connection maybe is. Just doesn't seem to be much clarity there. And the energy I'm seeing here is that avoidance is becoming impossible. You can't keep pretending that you don't feel this anymore, or that the discomfort of not knowing and not having clarity is okay, and what's interesting, the more this has been delayed, the more emotionally intense it's becoming underneath the surface. So if you're feeling like something is building emotionally, like there's pressure underneath this connection, this reading is probably for you. Let's start with each card. The Tower reversed. The reverse towers are fascinating to me because this is really a sudden external collapse at first. This is like emotional resistance. This is someone feeling the change coming, sensing that the old dynamic can't continue, but trying to manage it, contain it, delay it. Like avoiding the conversation, avoiding the vulnerability, like avoiding making the hard decision. Maybe you're avoiding, fully facing what this connection actually means. But the Tower energy is truth that keeps pushing upwards. So you can suppress it temporarily, but you can't suppress it forever. Emotionally, spiritually, energetically, it starts to leak through everything. So you may have noticed this person becoming inconsistent, pulling closer and then disappearing, acting emotionally overwhelmed, or even trying to like distract themselves from connection entirely. Maybe they're not in a situation that they can fully show up for you, and yet you have allowed the connection to continue, even though you are uncomfortable in it, even though it's not aligning with what you want and what you know you deserve. The Seven of Cups reversed. This is where illusion starts collapsing. And I actually think this is the tension point of the reading. So, because someone can no longer comfortably live in fantasy here, the confusion is breaking through this like emotional fog. It's like almost like the fog is lifting. See these clouds, and the reverse just feels like this fog is lifting. And for some of you, this person realizing they actually do care far more than they want to admit. So Maybe they will, maybe they won't, maybe it's it can also show up as someone who had options, distractions, avoidance patterns, like escapism, and maybe that's what your connection was kind of built around, and suddenly realizing that none of those things emotionally satisfy them anymore. And so this discomfort that brings, the clarity, it brings clarity that changes things. So once someone truly sees the connection, they can't unsee it. And you may notice yourself becoming less willing to accept crumbs emotionally, less willing to stay in uncertainty, less willing to romanticize potential instead of reality. The Seven of Pentacles reversed. This feels like frustration reaching a peak. This card says, how long are we going to stay here? Someone is tired of waiting, tired of emotional stagnation, tired of slow movement, tired of wondering if this connection is ever actually going to evolve. And honestly, I feel like this reading is exposing a pattern where emotional processing has been happening internally for a long time, but externally very little has changed. And this disconnect is becoming unbearable now. This can even show someone suddenly realizing, I'm running out of excuses, I can't keep delaying this, I can't keep pretending timing is the only issue. And for a few viewers, this may resonate as a moment where you stop investing energy into chasing emotional certainty from someone else. There's like a reclaiming happening here. And I find that this Three of Cups at the bottom just made me smile. Because after all this, Knight of Cups below that, wanted to be seen. The Three of Cups at the bottom just became this like light after all this heavy internal pressure. This card brings like emotional movement. This can absolutely point towards communication, reunion, reconnection, seeing each other again, or emotional honesty finally entering the situation. But more than that, this feels like an emotional thawing. The walls start cracking down. Emotional avoidance weakens, and suddenly there's a softer energy underneath everything. For some of you, this may even be the connection that started becoming too emotionally real, and one or both people panicked, but the feeling didn't disappear. They just got buried under fear, confusion, avoidance, like timing issues, all these mental, emotional overwhelm. I just find the Three of Cups says feelings are resurfacing. And there's joy here, there's celebration, but also remembering to celebrate oneself, and honor oneself. Like, where are you bringing joy to yourself, joy to the connection as well? So I think the biggest message in this reading is that avoidance has an expiration date. What's unstable eventually asks to be rebuilt honestly. What's emotionally unclear eventually demands clarity. And what's truly felt emotionally doesn't disappear just because someone tries to suppress it. I think this connection has been sitting in an in-between space for too long. And the energy now feels like emotional truth is getting harder to like come to the surface, to escape. And that doesn't mean that every connection becomes a perfect love story overnight, but it does mean masks are falling away, illusions are collapsing, and and someone is being forced to confront what they genuinely feel. And honestly, that may be the breakthrough this connection needed all along. Let me know in the comments if this resonated with your situation. I'd love to hear where you feel this energy showing up for you right now. And if you want more readings like this, don't forget to subscribe and like and let me know in the comments. May you be blessed. May you be happy. Sending much love.